In 2001, I was evicted. I was given a 3-day notice to vacate because I was unwilling to accept that they wouldn't do regular maintenance on the property.
I was born and raised in Boulder. I was recently evicted without notice by my landlord after 3 days of non-payment.
I am a Boulder native. I was born and raised here. I had a house out in Louisville for 20 plus years, which is where I raised my kids.
When we received the notice, it made me feel helpless and panicked. You hear that person mess with your door and you open the door and there's a notice taped to your door that says, you've got 30 days to leave. And you feel betrayed.
Next thing you know, the sheriff is there putting all your stuff to the side as people pick through it. And when you got money, you got power. And then the ones who don't have money are just left as victims, and I'm a victim today.
I was served with the papers and had a court date. I did appear in court here in Boulder.
The process was pretty dehumanizing. It was pretty heartbreaking.
You just sit there in shame in the courtroom and you watch as person after person goes up there and feels like you feel worthless.
We didn't have a babysitter that we could afford to leave the kids with at the time, so we had to bring them to court with us, and it was really difficult.
Landlords generally have attorneys on retainer, whereas if you're a tenant, generally you're the most vulnerable person and you typically can't afford an attorney.
That attorney that represented the landlord in our case also represented the landlord in several other cases that day.
It's frustrating without the lawyer. It's a serious process where you do need an attorney. Again, the landlord had more power because it's power over poor.
I didn't have any resources to help me through the eviction process, and it was very intimidating and very lonely and very scary.
If we had an attorney with us in court, I think that we would have been better aware of our rights.
Just solely alone from having a person who would have listened to our story and then responded with legally what we needed to understand.
If I had an attorney when I was evicted, I definitely would have known my rights. I would have fought my eviction. I would have been able to protect my ability to keep Section 8 housing, and I would have won.
Facing that eviction, I was also told that I couldn't live in there by the city of Boulder, and it made me homeless.
We just ended up in debt and homeless, which to us was devastating.
I had 2 small children at the time, and I can't imagine what kind of harm, permanent harm, it would have been to them for the rest of their lives to have been homeless at that age.
My son, when all of this was going on, he had 15 to 20 seizures a day.
It's just hard to stomach all of that like you tell your landlord, hey, this is my situation, and I'm gonna lose my home because my child is sick, which is no fault of ours or his own. And they're like, well, what do you want us to do about it?
It's been a long road to try to recover my health. I went into a severe depression. I experienced anxiety and panic attacks. It's very hard once you fall down to get back up again and to climb the ladder to self-sufficiency.
Whoever has the most money is the winner. When you put in a situation where it's a slumlord and you want something fixed, it don't happen for a year, who's at fault? And the courts are going to rule in their favor.
It's not unique. There's nothing special about what happened to us. There's a million other people that happens to every day.
The landlord holds so much power over the tenants, you can be on the street before you know it, and it's something that happened to me, and it's something that shouldn't happen to anyone.